Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Maggie. Someone asked for this video, so I thought I'd supply my favorite makeup brushes that I use pretty much all the time. I have this pink planter. It's actually a planter from Walmart, but I use it to store all of my makeup brushes. And I just learned something because yes, I showed you my makeup brushes dirty because that's probably more realistic, but I googled it and I was like, how often should you be washing your makeup brushes? And it said every 7 to 10 days. And from my recollection, I can't even remember the last time I've done it. It's probably been a year. Straight to jail for me. That's disgusting. We're gonna clean them after this. First lot of brushes is gonna be from e.l.f. and this one is the Cream and Powder Face Brush. It's a dual end makeup brush designed for applying and blending out your favorite cream and powder products. I use this all the time for powder blushes, cream blushes, contour, you name it. And then there is the Complexion Duo, which has a small buffing end, which I use that for concealer, and the other end you can use it for like powder or blush. It's just another good one, especially if you are traveling. The pointed powder brush buffs powder onto the skin evenly without applying too much. e.l.f. is such an affordable brand. You don't really need to be spending a lot of money to have good brushes. And then my favorite little contour brush is the nose contour brush, and it's perfect. It has this flat angled side so you can draw the lines, and then the other side you can buff it out with. This also works as a good eyeshadow brush too. Next is another e.l.f. brush. It's one of their brand one. It's the Airbrush blending brush, and I use this a lot of the time to blend out my foundation, and then I'll go over with a sponge. And then there is the Featherlight highlighting brush. This one I actually use more as a blush brush. It just like airbrushes blush on your cheeks really well, but it does apply highlight in a really beautiful minimal way. Next is Real Techniques. I would say this is like one of the first brands I bought from, besides like the e.l.f. dollar section of brushes. But they have such good brushes and sponges. This is the Rebel Edge makeup brush set. They're cropped brush heads for powder, eyeshadow, highlighter, and blush. The big one I use for more like buffing out bronzer. The small one, I can use it on my eyes and on my nose. And then that smaller one, I like to use for contour or blush. I love the shape of the tapered edge on it. It's just really good for making a nice sharp edge, but also buffing it out in a nice way. Really can't go wrong with any Real Techniques brushes. They're all good. This brush is from Five Below. They have so many good brushes. The Chic Pro brushes. This is the Pro Angled Blending Makeup Brush. I use it for under my eyes for concealer and also setting that. Concealer, it just has a nice edge to really get in those lines. Next is the Do Color Makeup Brush Set from Amazon. There's 15. I'm only showing you these few, but I specifically wanted these because they looked like Marnie's brooms from Halloween Town, and I'm glad I got them for Christmas because they've become swiftly some of my favorite. I love the domed shadow brushes. They're super good for blending out eyeshadow. This one's my favorite. It's like kind of angled like a contour brush, but it really hugs those creases. They have like flat shader brushes, liner brushes, spoolies, contour blushes, and powder brushes. It's like the perfect set if you just need a set that has everything. Next is two brushes from REM Beauty, probably the more expensive ones in my collection. There's the B2 bronzer brush and the B1 blush brush. The bronzer brush is very unique. It has a great like half moon shape, and it hugs the contours of your face and has it really targeted so you can like buff it out, and it's perfect to do your little nose contour on the top. And then the blush brush is very dense. It applies the products really well, and you can still buff them out. A Drugstore brand, Profusion Cosmetics, they have great brushes, so another place that's affordable. I got these two free in a Profusion order, and then these ones were from the Jurassic Park collection. It's specific the amber, so definitely check out your local Walmart. That's where you can get Profusion in store. That's where I've seen it. Next is Morphe. I have another one of these that's even more tapered than this one, and I love to use this in the crease and buff out those like graphic eye cut creases with shadows. It's just really great for detailed shadow work and just really adding that definition into the crease. I got this at Marshall's actually, so it was more affordable than usual. This is a Glisten Cosmetics liner brush. I use this to do wet liner looks, and this is from the art supply store. It's just a paintbrush, but I use this all the time to do shadow liners, or I'll use it on my lips. So it definitely pays to check out the art supply store for makeup brushes. I actually want to go back and see if there's any more hidden gems. Next up is ColourPop, another great place for some more affordable brushes. This is a small pencil brush. You could like buff out liner to make it a little bit more smoky. And they have some really good tapered eyeshadow brushes. These like kind of fancy, like, I don't know how to describe them, but they were really popular like in 2016. And these are the 3 that I have left. They look like fancy makeup like brushes that you would use in your hair, but I like using these for my nose for contour. This is another Five Below purchase. It's another great contour. I like to use it with contour cream products and then really put it in that cheekbone. Places it perfectly. This is from Shein. It was a 2-pack, and this is the perfect, you can use it to use powder contour to really chisel out those cheekbones, but also I use the other one to place my highlight. And these are more of my highlighter brushes. This is a glow brush that my friend Chelsea got me. I will try to list all these down below, but it's like the Moda brushes, another brand you can get at the drugstore, and they're so good. And these are just like the perfect shape to like buff those pearls into your cheekbones as well. You can use that in your eye if you really wanted to. Because I'm disgusting, I decided to actually wash my brushes. I have this little like silicone brush cleaner thing my mom got me for Christmas one year, and this is just a bar soap that I got at a hotel on our last vacation, and it was just sitting there, so I was like, might as well just use that. But I've used Dial soap, I've used shampoo, I've used everything under the sun that's like a hair product basically, but it doesn't really matter. You can use a bar soap, you can use shampoo, you can use dishwasher soap, whatever, it works. And I haven't had any issues, but I just, you know, rub those brushes really good on that soap and then onto that little silicone brush cleaner, and it really gets in all the cracks and crevices of those brushes. Some take more effort than others and some are super easy. And then after I give them a good scrub and they look like perfection and new, I will take a towel and I will just like buff it. Oh, I'll soak out all the product and then I will really buff it dry so it's like back to its like shape that it was originally, so it doesn't dry funky. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I just thought this would be satisfying to see. I do sell a brush cleaning fluid, but I honestly think that's kind of a scam. Maybe that's good for like professional makeup artists, but I would never spend that much money on a fluid when I could just go to the dollar store and get a bar of soap and clean my brushes with that, or just use the shampoo that I already have in my shower. So I mean, look at that. Those used to be so filthy. You saw the footage, and now like look how beautiful and fresh and neon those bristles look, especially the ones that look like Marnie's witch broom. So fresh and bright, so beautiful. And now I will be applying my eyeshadow and makeup with not disgusting makeup filled brushes, which is very good. So if you haven't cleaned your brushes in a while, maybe this is a sign to go into your collection and give them a good wash. But obviously that would save you from maybe acne. I don't know if I'm experiencing any like acne from not washing my brushes. Maybe I've just gotten to that age, I just don't get zits unless it's on my period anymore. But it's definitely not hygienic to just let them keep collecting and collecting more makeup. And now I can do my makeup with clean brushes and there's no like residue from other products. Some of these were so satisfied to see clean because I didn't know that they originally were white, especially this Shein brush. Look at that. I'm disgusting. And I just let them lay outside in the sun on my table with a little towel to air dry. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, and I'll link everything below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Bye!